One of the most interesting characters that ever appeared in Twilight Zone was the character of Oliver Crangle. Oliver Crangle, well, we don't know how he survives because he doesn't appear to have a job. I guess he has a trust fund or inheritance or something because he appears to have no job and he spends all day trying to do good. Now, you've heard that saying, um, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Oliver Crangle has good intentions. He's calling up and warning people about, that this person is a communist or that person has bad affiliations, and this doctor he thinks is incompetent and led to a woman's death. And he spends all his time just writing letters, making phone calls, trying to get rid, kind of waging his own one-man war against evil in the world. Now, Oliver Crangle has been called a very evil character himself, that he's unremittingly evil, but he's not. The whole point of Oliver Crangle is that he's trying to do good. And he illustrates that saying. And I also think there was another famous saying of somebody who said, if I knew that anybody was coming to my house with the conscious intention of doing me good, I would run for my life. And it's specifically that conflict between his believing that he is good and the reality of his, being a busybody and, giving all these warnings that, is at the center of the whole story that's told in that Twilight Zone episode. It's called 4 o'clock. And it also makes me think of Mona Charen wrote a book called Do-Gooders. And she was concentrating on how she thinks that liberal people have tried to do good and done harm. But of course, both liberals and conservatives think of themselves as doing good. It's not really confined to one particular branch of the political spectrum. Almost all people who are involved in politics think that they're going to do good, and their attempts often backfire. Whether they're conservative or liberal, they'll try to do something and it will very frequently have opposite results. Prohibition was an example of trying to do good. And it gave organized crime its big start in our society. Okay. Campaigns against drugs may actually titillate teenagers and make them want to start using drugs. But at any rate, I think that Oliver Crangle is, I want to make the point that he is a very fascinating character. And he seems to have a certain sense of humor. He also has a relationship with his parrot, his pet parrot, whom he likes. In the radio version of 4 o'clock, Twilight Zone 4 o'clock, he says, "Here's a nut for you, Pete." That's his parrot. And of course, we all know that "Here's a nut for you" is Oliver Crangle. But I just wanted to point out that, this character is, he draws a lot of his energy and his vividness as a character from the contradiction between his desire to be good and it not leading to good results. And I think that's a lesson for a lot of people who try to do good. And I don't think it should be confined to liberals, conservatives, moderates, Republicans, Democrats. It should be a lesson for all of us who try. And I think most, unless you're a psychopath or something, you probably do try to do good. But let's Be careful about the results. Hope you liked hearing that.